We often hear the phrase, the ideal is unattainable, but one must strive for it. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why? Where does this obsessive need to find some ultimate point, some perfect version of ourselves, come from? From the earliest times, humans have painted ideals for themselves. Ideals of beauty, character, and world order. These were perceived as a bar that, once reached, would grant you eternal happiness. But history shows that not a single ideal has ever truly been reached. Instead of abandoning this pursuit, humanity decided to just keep striving. Within this logic lies a trap that makes you weak. In reality, the truth is much more grounded. Our brains, by nature, are quite lazy. They seek the path of least resistance to conserve energy. Choice becomes simple when there is only one perfect option. Choosing among dozens of possibilities is difficult. This is why things like 7 Rules of Success or the Formula for Love are so popular. It is easier for our minds to follow a template than to actually live life, receive lessons, and feel the sting of disappointment. It is easier to memorize a formula than to experience love with all its dramas and broken hearts. When we narrow this vast world down to a few rules, we are narrowing ourselves. We do it because it feels easier. Idealism seems simple, but it comes at a high price. Look at history. Almost every war has been started by idealists convinced of a single correct opinion. Idealism blinds you. You no longer need to search for truth because the answers were given to you in a static package. Idealism leads to blindness. We see only the lighthouse of our ideal and lose sight of the thousands of truths scattered around us. Furthermore, idealism contradicts the very nature of existence. It is linear. It always implies a final destination. But if you look around, you will see that the world is cyclical. The earth rotates, seasons change, and life moves in circles. A seed gives life to a tree, which in turn gives seeds again. A person captivated by beauty often tries to freeze it in stone. They want an ideal form that never fades. Can a stone rose ever truly compare to a living flower? Idealism is a symbol of stasis, and stasis is a symbol of death. In its lack of movement, it is dead. A stone rose is no scent. Similarly, any idealistic idea carries disappointment because it defies the living, cyclical world. There is no ideal in nature because there is no final point. Try to find the end point of a circle. You won't find it. You might ask, but what about morality? In striving, there is nothing wrong, because striving is movement. But a final destination in the form of frozen rules is often violated because human nature is free. Rigid boundaries beg to be broken. What helps us live are cyclical principles. Do not do to others what you do not wish for yourself. This is a circle. The harm you cause will return to you. In a cyclical world, you measure your actions against yourself through others. This world is complex. It is full of flaws and errors. It is not worth searching for an ideal destination, that one job or country where you will finally be happy. Such a place does not exist. We are humans, not icons. The world is an infinite mystery. All we can do is try to make it better every day. People searching for the ideal are usually miserable. They are perpetually waiting for the ideal conditions or the ideal partner. They do not live in the flow. They walk after a carrot they hung in front of themselves. By idealizing one thing, you stop seeing everything else. We want a formula. If I become rich, I will become confident. But confidence is simpler than you thought. It resides in your ability to move through the unknown. Is it good to do your job perfectly? You can only do something perfectly once, setting a limit. But doing it better removes all restrictions. Tomorrow, you can do even better. A company like Apple never says their phone is perfect. They say, this is our best yet. This is the path of the inner pillar. When we fall in love, we idealize our partner. We use sharp words like forever or only you. These are frozen expressions. That is why such relationships are fragile. We grow tired of the impossibility of staying at the peak. We stop valuing the ordinary days. Yet ordinary days are the seeds for future flowers. In nature, we don't set conditions. We simply love because we feel it within. By idealizing only youth, we lose the wisdom of age. By idealizing success, we fail to see the joy in the process. Beauty on the surface is available to everyone, but the one who sees hidden beauty in everything will live a fuller life. Do not limit yourself to one philosophy. In this world, everything is interesting if you are present. How then should we achieve goals? Do not make the goal the final point of your entire existence. If your goal is a house, then until you buy it, your life feels inadequate. You suffer in waiting. This does not mean you should be lazy. Laziness is also stasis. Meaning is found only in movement. Only movement cannot be frozen in marble. Set goals, but do not idealize them. Simply walk toward them. Do not try to be the best. Strive to become better and better, without an upper limit, for the sake of the journey itself. A goal should be passionately desired, not worshipped. Worshipping is dead idealism. Desire is action. Sometimes an idealist cannot even begin because they are terrified of mistakes. They wait for a moment that never comes. For the warrior hunting for power, the action is higher than the result. He lives in the action. This is the symbol of infinite movement. Even in self-development, there is a trap. When you only consume knowledge but give nothing back, you break the balance. Energy must flow in both directions. To avoid a tilt, you must give. Help others. Dedicate time to your community. It doesn't matter how. The main thing is that energy does not stagnate. Forget about final points. Build your inner pillar on constant movement and the ability to see beauty in imperfection. Be a part of the cyclical world. Do not be afraid to make mistakes, because a mistake is part of the path to better, not the end of the path to perfect. Write in the comments, I choose movement. Let me know that you are ready to step out of the trap of frozen ideals. Stay steady. Stay aware. Be yourself. See you in the next video on the Inner Pillar channel.